puertorriqueña. Yo te la traigo de Cupey, de Vega Baja y de Santurce, de todas partes de Puerto Rico.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen, where we show you how to make easy, authentic Puerto Rican recipes. Today, we're going to be making relleno de yuca, also known as bollito de yuca or yuca relleno de carne, however you want to call it. It's a super easy dish where you make a dough of yuca, you stuff it with cheese or meat, and you deep fry it to crispy perfection. So it's super simple, guys. In the dough, we have 3 ingredients. One of them's optional. We have yuca. Again, go ahead and buy it, get some good stuff. Watch out for the soft ones because they might be bad. Then we're gonna add some sazon. Check the link below for our recipe. You can also use the packets if you want. And then a little achiote oil for some additional coloring, totally optional. Then we're gonna stuff those with cheese. We got some cheddar cheese that I've got in blocks about, half an inch cubed, or some picadillo. The picadillo, check the link below for the recipe. I've got it in the fridge. I love having it on hand because you can make so many dishes with it. It's super delicious. You guys are gonna love it. So we're gonna put those together. You guys are gonna love it. Let's get cooking.
Let's start by peeling our yuca so we can get it boiling. To do this, just cut off both ends of the yuca and then use a sturdy vegetable peeler to peel away the tough outer skin. Make sure to go down deep enough so that the only thing you see is white flesh. Once peeled, give your yuca a quick rinse with water and then use a knife to cut away any last discolored portions. Also, if you find any soft spots in your yuca, cut those out with a knife. When you're finished cleaning your yuca, cut it into quarters approximately 2 inches in length. You want to keep the pieces pretty small in order to make sure that they cook quickly and evenly as you boil it. After you've cut your yuca, place it in a large bowl and add enough water to cover it completely. It's important to keep track of how much water you use because we also want to salt our water in order to help the salt penetrate deep into the yuca, and you'll need to add more or less salt depending on how much water you add. I've added 2 teaspoons of salt to my 8 cups of water. If you use more or less water, just adjust the amount of salt proportionally. Once your water, yuca, and salt are in the pot, turn it on high and bring it to a boil and put the lid on. Boil your yuca for 35 minutes until it's very soft and easily pierced with a fork. If the yuca is still hard when you test it, keep boiling it and check it every 5 minutes or so. Once your yuca is done cooking, drain off the water and let it cool down a little bit. When your yuca is cool enough to handle, begin smashing it. I like to start with a fork and smash one piece at a time. The reason for this is that yuca pieces often contain thick fibrous veins that you want to make sure and remove, and smashing each piece one by one makes it easier to find these veins and remove them. Keep smashing your yuca until it forms a soft paste, almost like lumpy mashed potatoes. Once smashed, add your achiote oil and sazon and mix to combine thoroughly. With your dough prepared, you are ready to form your fritters. Let's start with our cheese-filled ones. Spoon approximately 1/3 a cup of dough onto your hand and then press it into a rough disc approximately half an inch thick. Then, take one of your cheese blocks and press it into the middle of the disc. Use your hands to wrap the disc up around the cheese and then roll the fritter into a tight ball, pushing it together tightly. Again, take about 1/3 a cup of dough and flatten it into a disc. Then place one block of cheese in the middle and wrap the sides up around the cheese. Finally, roll the fritter into a ball, making sure to pack it tightly around the cheese. Now on to the meat-filled ones. The process for making these is basically the same. Take about 1/3 a cup of dough and flatten it into a disc. Then use your fingers to create an indent in the middle of the disc and fill it with approximately 1 tablespoon of picadillo. Then roll up the sides of the disc, fully encompassing the picadillo, and roll your fritter into a ball, packing it together tightly. Keep going until all of your dough is finished. Once your rellenos de yuca are formed, let's go ahead and fry them. Start by adding oil to a deep pan. I found that the fritters cook best when they are completely submerged in oil. If you only use enough oil to cook half of them at a time, sometimes the uncooked side will burst when you turn it over. To that end, I've added about 1.5 inches of oil to my pan. Heat your oil to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, and then add your rellenos one by one. They should start bubbling immediately, and if they don't, your oil isn't hot enough. Because the rellenos are completely submerged, there's no need to flip them. However, give them a little stir from time to time to prevent them from sticking to the bottom or each other. Once your fritters are golden brown, remove them from the oil and let them drain in a cooling rack. Keep frying the rest of your fritters until they are all cooked. Then you're ready to enjoy.
So there we go, guys. The relleno de yuca are done. We're ready to try them. I'm gonna start with one of the cheese ones and just kind of, melty goodness. These are great, and what I really love about them is that real pure yuca taste. Right, so unlike the relleno de papa, where you have a lot of things like eggs and flour and cornstarch to kind of thicken the dough and stabilize it, with these ones it's just yuca and seasoning. It makes for a great flavor, and I just really love that. The downside to being such a simple recipe is that it's a little bit finicky. I think that's the best way to describe it. I've tried it a lot and really tried to tweak it just so that I can do just yuca and seasonings. And here's a couple things that I think are really important. The first is that you really want to cook the yuca for quite a while. You need to get really soft, really moist, so that that water that's soaked up while it's boiling really helps hold it together. So we boil ours for 30-35 minutes. If you think you would need to go longer, go longer. If it's still hard when you're squishing it, go longer, definitely. If you go too far, you can always save the recipe by just adding back in a little bit of cornstarch, and you should be fine. But yeah, you want to cook the yuca for quite a while. The second thing is you don't want to add too much oil. So we add a little bit of achiote oil, which helps give it a different consistency, which I like better. It's a little softer and not as hard. But if you add too much oil, that oil starts to interfere with the starches shaping up. And what'll happen is that you might have some of the balls kind of burst in the oil. So want to be careful with that. Not too much oil, just a little bit. And the last thing is that when you are forming them, you really want to push them together hard. That's real key. Again, there's no eggs, there's no flour, there's no cornstarch to help hold it together. So you really need to push the starches in the yuca together. You just want to really tightly pack them, and then that'll help them stay together while you're frying them. And don't worry, guys, if some of them burst, it's totally fine. It could happen. It probably will happen. It's happened to me a lot as I've been playing around with this recipe. But again, you end up with a great end. It's just real yuca, great flavor. I love it, guys. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit the like button below, subscribe to our channel, share the video. Really want you guys to get out there and share it with your friends so that we can help spread the word about how great Puerto Rican food is. Also, guys, check out our website, jeffandjoepr.com. We've been pushing that for the last couple of weeks. We really want to provide another way for people to find us and to find our recipes. So check it out, share it with your friends. If you have people that maybe don't watch YouTube, maybe they're looking for great recipes, it's a great place to point them. And come back again next week. Join us for another episode of Jeff and Joe's Puerto Rican Kitchen.